Adi, just so much I can talk about the economy. Before I end, no, let me add something about international trade. Because we also have a certain attitude that I need to overcome. The difficulty is we are nationalists. You know, we believe, I love this country and I'd like to protect it. But ironically, I am also an internationalist. I believe that the world is integrated, especially from an economic point of view, and that we cannot do anything about it. What we can do is make sure that we are part of that integrated economy and make sure that we are deriving the benefits of that integrated economy. That, well, call it a global economy, a regional economy, but we are part of this bigger system. And that is why it's also important for you guys as leaders to understand what is the World Trade Organization? What is ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations? Why is it important to me? Okay? Because eventually I'm going to go out into the world. Maybe I'll work for a bank, or I'll work for a manufacturing company, and it might seem so alien to me. But at the end of the day, your lives are affected by all of these movements. No? Wealth just moves around. Now, where there is most productivity, okay, that is where the wealth will go. And that is where you are able to alleviate poverty. The countries that have opened up, okay, this is based on empirical evidence. The countries that are most open to trade and investment have been able to overcome poverty at the fastest level. And most of them are actually here in Asia. The Philippines just has to keep in step. So rather than opposing integration, I think we should actually embrace it and understand it. That is why, rather than trying to say, I don't want to have anything to do with the WTO, it's scary, it's going to close factories here and people will lose jobs. But if you take that attitude, before you know it, it will still do the same thing no matter how much noise you make. I think it's better to understand the animal, the beast, so that you're able to tame it, you're able to take advantage of it. And I think, my guess is actually the Philippines is a country that will thrive with economic integration. I think the Filipino is best placed from a language, from an intelligence, from a holistic point of view to be part of this economically integrated system. And rather than having people losing our brain power and our creativity, you know, the inventors, the people creating value, losing them to the Middle East or the US or Europe, you can actually do it from here, but in an integrated system. Look at the market that the world presents rather than just the Philippines. All of these monopolies I was talking about, all they're concerned with is capturing the Philippine market and then forcing you to pay a higher price. The companies that are doing best are those that have looked at the whole world as their market and that are willing to compete based on technology, innovation, creativity, good advertising, good values, no? Rather than capturing the Philippine economy, for example, using corruption to make sure that they have monopoly power, okay? Because that's the root of corruption, is trying to maintain the monopoly power. And the monopoly power is what keeps us weak. And that's why you have to look at all of these different pieces, put it all together. I guess my little bit of advice is study the economy because it matters to us. But don't get lost in the aggregated figures. Look at your own experiences in your life. No? How much is your mom or dad paying for water, for rice? No? And then see whether more competition can be injected into the system. And that will be, I think, the root of a true revolution, a true change of mindset, a new beginning for the Philippines in an integrated world.